On this next episode of Outlook TV, it's just drag at the Commodore.
The UBC Pride Ball.
And Black Boys, a play. And much, much more.
Hello and welcome to Outlook TV.
I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay, and you're watching the Queer Magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to coast.
We're going to kick it off in Vancouver at the Commodore.
Why? It's just drag.
It's just drag.
It's just drag.
We're at the fabulous Commodore Ballroom in downtown Vancouver for the second annual It's Just Drag. It's going to be a great night tonight. We've got some fabulous entertainers, 2 from RuPaul's Drag Race, and 20 of Vancouver's top entertainers. It's going to be a great evening. Please join us.
The talent today at tech rehearsal, it was off the hook, off the chain, whatever the kids are saying these days. It was the amount of preparation, their sets and choreography and outfits and design, and it's a cornucopia of creativity here. It's fantastic.
What are you going to be doing here tonight?
I think a number that symbolizes standing up for yourself, empowering yourself in every single way. It's a sort of an homage to a fantastic character that we all know and love, and hopefully will instill a lot of great feelings in people to be the best that they can be.
There's 2 out-of-town guests, the RuPaul girls, and then we have the local girls that are also part of the cast.
How many do you think we have tonight?
I think about probably 15 in the cast, and then some really talented dancers. And then backstage we have some beautiful makeup and hair artists.
Basically tonight is a venture down through the Huntsman, which we all saw the movie. It was really cute, but we never really saw the monster that came out of the mirror. So this is the monster that came out of the mirror that wears her victims' faces.
I am opening the show with the Brat Pack. We're doing our own thing, and then we are closing the show with a little Spice Girls number.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Well, I will be doing just some classic, good old-fashioned drag lip syncing for you to some fine hits on the radio. You know, nothing too revolutionary, but I'm just really excited. I had about 2 weeks off after the New Year, so I'm getting right back in the gig after having some fun time off.
Could you give us a little inside scoop out behind the scenes at RuPaul Drag Week?
I will say is that there are no clocks on set. Time becomes even more of an illusion than it ever was, and it makes for very interesting television and even more interesting deadlines for challenges.
Are you doing by yourself, or is there somebody with you on stage?
No, I'm a one-person show. I do it by myself all the time.
Fantastic. Now, where do you call home?
Shreveport, Louisiana is my home.
Anything current projects you're working on?
Hopefully I'll start working on music in the future, so that's a big project that I'm excited to be working on.
It's been an amazing night here at the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver for It's Just Drag. For Outlook TV, this is Angus Prott.
And our newest reporter, Kyle, was thrown into the thick of it, and I mean the thickest of glittery, sparkly, reflective materials you could see at Hinky Punk.
Hey guys, we're here at the Hinky Punk event for the Push Festivals on Main Street at the Fox Theater, about to go meet Ralph.
Really passionate about accessibility in the arts and how, coming from a street dance background, going into learning more about contemporary dance practice and contemporary work, I'm really trying to figure out how to connect both of those worlds as a commercial dancer, a street dancer, and a contemporary dancer, and how do you do that in a way that excites everyone, that entertains but also makes people think. Hinky Punk, the name, comes from the myth of Igneous Fadus, or Will-o'-the-Wisp, which is this mystical light that in a lot of cultures that exists in a lot of cultures, and that lures people off their path into the darkness. So the light in our case is the sequined character who in a way embodies iconography and learns about how to become an icon in some sense. The piece overall is I'm really interested in identity in general, gender binaries, and also like how we construct our identity. And being a voguer and also a drag queen, I'm really interested in how those two cultures really pull from icons in pop culture, and how there's like a huge business made out of it based on this embodiment of icons. Yeah, and Push itself is this amazing international performing arts festival, acting, like music, like movement, like blah. Like it's really about dance or performance works that are non-traditional or interdisciplinary, come out of the traditional like proscenium or theater setting to give opportunity for those people to share their work. To all the younger youth that are queer, LGBTQ+, who want to make art and want to create, is that we should really be precious about how we as artists are being used, how we decide to express ourselves, and be careful to not be tokenized, especially in a world now where there's Drag Race and there's Trixie and Katya on YouTube and everyone's watching it. I think we have to really understand that queerness is not just something that can be sold, that it is who we are, and I think we should find ways to not be taken advantage of. I put on really flashy things to help create conversation. That's my way of dealing with my awkwardness.
Thanks, guys. This has been Kyle with OutlookTV, watching Hinky Punk.
We're going to have to take a little break now.
But don't you touch that remote, because they don't exist anymore.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
And up next, we have the UBC Pride Ball.
UBC?
You remember?
Back in the day.
Days. Oh.
Hey everyone, I'm Derek, and tonight we're at the UBC Campus Pit Pub for a Revelry in Resistance, a drag extravaganza. Tonight we're going to be checking out performances, showing the world that everyone is here and we're queer on campus and no one's going anywhere. So let's go inside and check it out.
So tonight we're having a amateur and senior drag kind of fun time performance. We're also having a dance tonight. So it's a part of the UBC Pride Week, which the Pride Collective of UBC hosts every year. And this year we have this fantastic event in this fantastic location. So we're bringing together wonderful performers and people to come in and celebrate and, you know, like resist with us.
I have been thrown in jail. I have lost my job. I have lost my apartment for gay liberation. And you all treat me this way? What the f***'s wrong with you all? Revolution now!
I'm doing a piece that has to do with queer history and people who have died throughout the years because of police brutality, and even people just like targeting them just for being queer or trans. And yeah, this piece means a lot to me. I've been practicing it for like months now, and also Emily helped me create a wonderful video with some speeches in there, and also queer history throughout the years, and also Black Lives Matter, Vancouver and Toronto, and throughout the world as well.
A classic piece for me. It's Havana by Camila Coelho. And it's just a fun, upbeat number. Take my clothes off to enjoy everybody that trans is sexy as well. Well, a lot of what I do, I'm actually the creator of Coconuts and Bananas, which is Canada's first trans nightclub. And the whole show is centered around modern burlesque and the Pussycat Dolls Lounge. And really normalizing what trans bodies are, especially when it comes to the sexualization. Oftentimes trans people are exploited for their bodies, but it's about taking that back and really kind of exuding what sexy really is for the individual, and showing that all bodies are normal and all bodies are sexy and they're all weird and they're all messed up. So whatever you can do, just be proud of it and have fun with it.
There response has just been so overwhelmingly positive. People are always thrilled to find us as a resource, especially students that are foreign exchange students and maybe don't know where the resources are, where the community is. But yeah, people seem to be very happy with what we're doing.
It's super important to host drag shows on campus because drag is performance art specifically designed to like have a conversation about gender, but also like distort gender, like mess it up, like show what it is and isn't. It's like to move through. And on, you know, like one of like Vancouver's like biggest like learning centers, like UBC, we should really represent like that like level of knowledge, pushing, you know, that inspiration and that artistry.
I'm Derek, reporting for Outlook TV in Vancouver, BC.
I think they should check this out.
Are you saying, check this out?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Tubular.
We're in downtown Vancouver at the Dance Center, where today we're going to speak to the director and actor in My Funny Valentine. Please join us.
Only love people because their faith guilts them into it. They're the ones to watch out for. Because, like, they never actually like you. Not really.
Playwright in residence and my husband, Dave DeVoe, heard about this incident, this murder that happened in California in 2008, and it really shook him. It shook his core, and he just started amassing information and trying to find out as much as possible about the crime. A 14-year-old boy brought a gun to school and shot a 15-year-old colleague who, or student who had asked him to be his Valentine the day before. So it was a horrific, a tragic case. And David just started exploring and digging and digging and digging, and eventually this show evolved out of it.
Can you tell us a little bit about ZZ Theater?
We started in 2008. We are mandated to explore the stories of the marginalized, however we interpret that. And we've been around for 10 years, and what we try to do with ZZ is explore queer stories for not necessarily a queer audience, to really bring us together as a community, and to not just the queer community or the community of Vancouver, but just humanity in general, and to acknowledge that wherever we come from, we're all human at our core, and we're all affected by hate, and we're all affected by grief, and we're all affected by violence. And I think this show does a really great job of highlighting that.
You either are or you aren't, and Gloria is creative.
I get the privilege to play a variety of different characters who all have kind of different peripheral viewpoints to the murder of Lawrence King. So I feel like you get a really interesting angle. There's, of course, we're all very aware of school shootings and mass shootings, and this show unfolds in such a way that you get to hear a lot of different voices and different kind of fallout.
Shots fired at a local high school.
So I roll from sort of middle-aged journalist who's going through a bit of a life transition. I play a pretty sassy and tough and smart 14-year-old girl. I play a teacher who's a bit of a klutz and really had a lot of love for Lawrence King, the victim. I play an aging, formerly closeted homosexual man. I play an angry, raging parent of one of the students at the school who's got a real different perspective on things. I play a teacher who's a bit of a naysayer also, an 11-year-old girl. Yeah, those are the 7 characters.
For Outlook TV, this is Angus Pratt with My Funny Valentine from the Dance Center in downtown Vancouver.
When you take the queer kids bowling, it's for a fundraiser.
And they're pulling out the gutter blockers because these guys are pros. Let's check this out.
Hi there, viewers. We're here at Rainbow Bowling, and we're raising some money for the Rainbow refugees. There's a lot of gals here, and they're hot for a strike. Now get your mind out of the gutter and let's go check it out. Is there a theme to tonight's event?
Yes, it's beachwear.
Love Across Borders is a circle of hope, and we work with the Rainbow Refugees Society, and it's a private group of citizens that get together and raise money to sponsor refugees, and in our case a lesbian couple, and we have to raise $33,000. That's essentially 1 year of living here in Vancouver.
I think that Rainbow Refugees is an organization that does real work, like real people doing real grassroots work. Their structure is fascinating. They create a circle of hope around an individual or a couple, and then they raise the money, they bring them here, they support them for a year until they're settled. And I think that's really important. I feel really privileged to live in Canada.
We are here volunteering for helping people to come here because last year many people from Bowling helped us to arrive to Canada.
And where did you come from?
We are from Russia.
So there's a 12-month period where the individuals that we sponsor are supported to enable them to then have an independent life.
We are the damn beavers! Damn beavers!
Why is it that you support this event?
It's fun, and it's just a really important event. I know that the funds raised today go towards a sponsorship circle to bring a lesbian couple to Canada, and so I very much wanted to participate and bowl and have some fun and meet people and support the event.
How many people do you expect to have tonight?
Probably about 100. That's capacity for bowling, so we're pretty excited, and the energy will be great, and the community is amazing. They're helping us bring queer refugees from around the world.
Anything you'd like to tell the Outlook viewers?
Start a circle, and if not, go to their website, rainbowrefugee.com/donate, and put in Love Across Borders and send a donation. The faster we can get these women here, the faster we can get them out of harm's way.
It's really gratifying when you see all the bad things on the news to know that at least in this whole terrible thing, you made two people happy. That's something.
I'm really happy every day here. Thank you.
This has been John Crossan at the Old Orchard Bowling Lanes for Outlook TV.
We're going to have to take another little break now.
I'm going to apply more Vaseline to the lens of this camera so they'll look better when we return.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
In this next segment, we're going to go to the cult where things get an advisory warning and a little raunchy.
Ooh, sounds delicious.
Hello viewers, my name is Emily Ann Fraser, and today Outlook TV is visiting the historically beautiful and one of the most iconic venues in Vancouver, the Vancouver Cultural Centre, and we're here to see the Black Boys. So come on, let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome to Black Boys.
Black Boys was created by Saga Collective, and Saga Collective is a collective of 5 artists who are based in Toronto. The initial impulse was the fact that we all wanted to work with each other. So we came together, brought together by the desire to create something new, explore new things, think outside the box of what we know theater to be. Conversations led to ideas. Ideas led to us being on our feet and improvising. Ideas led to challenges. Ideas led to us imagining something outside of what we knew. And these imagination is what birthed Black Boys.
How has this show kind of influenced your personal life?
It can get pretty vulnerable, and because it's drawing from my own experience, it goes into my personal life, so it can bring some emotions up, but it can also challenge me, and it kind of guides me through my own personal life as well. Like, I don't know, the lines kind of blur, and it teaches me a lot when you're kind of breaking open.
How do you think plays like this kind of influence the community?
Well, when I think you're speaking your truth and going to the core and keeping your channel open and just trying your best to tell your story, I think it can, hopefully, my goal is that it can activate other members of the community, and they can feel their own fire within themselves and their own inspiration to uncover these things in themselves and have these vulnerable conversations and have a vulnerable expression and a brave expression and creative and imaginative expressions.
What would you say to a queer person watching this right now?
Your story matter. You matter. There's room for you. And imagine outside the box. Your imagination will create something that would make room for you yourself and those like you and others who would come along the way. So you matter.
And that is why I love theater. It educates, it inspires change, and it moves us forward. I'm Emily Ann Fraser. You're watching Outlook TV. Thanks for joining us.
Let's head over to Vancouver's iconic Commercial Drive.
What?
Oh, Sleepy Girl.
That's what we're reporting on.
The Sleepy Girl Drag Show, now weekly on Commercial Drive.
With Lucy Hoop.
Hi everyone, I'm Lucy Hoop reporting for Outlook TV, and tonight we're at the Sleepy Girl Show, episode 12. For the anniversary, it's the prom. We're gonna have a whole bunch of performers tonight, myself included, and it's gonna be an amazing show. So stick around and see what's gonna happen.
We're super excited because this marks the beginning of a wonderful weekly drag show on Commercial Drive, the first of its kind. So we're excited. The Sleepy Girl Show, it offers itself to like a lot of nostalgia. So a lot of what we do is like songs from the past that are tied to some kind of like emotional memory. So like for example, tonight is prom. So we're all doing songs that remind us of our prom night.
Doing something a little kind of edgy. I'm going to be the alternative girl at the prom. So not like a typical pop song that you would maybe see at your prom. Something a little more like punky. I was always kind of a more alternative person in high school. I never came out in high school, but I was still very much into like the punk scene and things like that. So that kind of stuff resonated way more with me at that point in my life than pop music. The biggest piece of advice I got, I was dabbling with makeup and with everything for months, is they just said you're never going to be ready. So just have fun and do your own thing. Don't worry if you don't look like everybody else or things like that. Like just, it's all about fun and expressing yourself.
Why do you think queer performance art is important?
I think it's really important because me as a young queer coming up, I wasn't necessarily accepted where I was from, and for me, just being able to have like an all ages venue like this, as well as so many people here to like come and support queer art, I think it's very important for the young up and coming like queers so that they feel like they have a place and they don't have to go through what we had to go through and be shunned and like picked on and beaten up because of it. So that's why I think that queer space is like super, super important.
I would say you really got to come down and check out a show. If you're used to seeing drag on TV, seeing it in real life is even better. Yeah, because these local queens, they put so much time and energy into what they do. They need to be worshipped just as much as our TV idols.
Well, that was an awesome show. I'm Lucy Hoop, reporting for Outlook TV in Vancouver. Thank you and have a good night.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this edition of Outlook TV, but you know we're going to be back again very soon.
And it's going to be great. It's going to get better. Just join us. You can follow us on social media, or you can shoot us an email to volunteer with us.
Oh, please come and join us. It's so much fun.
You get to hang out with us.
And all the crew. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Robert Mackay. Stay fabulous, Canada.